Texted y'all. I'm live. Live? You're like, who is it? Who are you talking to? Okay. Hi. Okay, I'm making some bread. I have my active yeast. I'm not doing starter, I'm doing yeast. I put brown sugar, put yeast, and I put warm water, and I got a head. It's always good to have a head. I kind of winged this recipe. My mom loves my bread, so I'm making it for her. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I don't know how much flour I have, so I may have to start over with that. Darn it! I don't remember. Oh, let me take off my Bluetooth. Can you guys hear me right now? Maybe I better take off my Bluetooth. Hold on now. Two. I think this is only 2 cups of flour. I kind of wing it, you guys. I kind of started out doing it like my tortillas. I'm like, oh, let me throw a little more flour. Let me do this. And then Joe's like, you really need to measure yourself. And I hate measuring. I just hate it. So let me take off my Bluetooth, y'all. La 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 la. All right, y'all. Hi. William Brooklyn, what's up, my friend? Hi. I'm gonna take off my AirPods. So we are making bread. Please don't ask for the recipe. I kind of just wing it. I've made bagels the last couple nights for my niece and my over here for my mom. And today they wanted bread, so I'm doing bread. I got my yeast. This is not starter. This is regular yeast. Hot water. I use hot tap water. I use about a tablespoon of yeast and brown sugar. That's what I got in here. It's ready to roll. I have softened, some melted, but I'm not really like stiff or whatever that is. Strict on rules. So I got some butter. I've softened, melted a little bit. I'm gonna throw it in here. Let's start. Mom, you got measuring cups somewhere?
Third drawer down.
Third drawer. I'm in Texas. Anybody wondering where I am? I'm in Texas right now. I'm with my mom.
If you need 3/4 or 2/3, it's gonna be the other one.
No, it's okay. I got it. 1 cup flour. This is how I do it. This is not a starter. This is yeast. You can use all-purpose flour or whatever kind of flour you want. So I'm going to put 2 cups of flour, and then okay, I have 2 cups of flour, and then I'm going to have a third one ready to go. Just regular sandwich bread for my mom. So I use milk and a tiny bit of water. That's how I activate my starter. So, I want to, you guys aim down a little bit. All right. So this is just flour. Just pour in activated yeast. So, roughly, I'm not putting that last bit. I'm not doing that. I have about a half a cup of I have a tablespoon of yeast and a tablespoon of brown sugar. This is what I'm using, ladies and gentle people. This is what I'm using with brown sugar and hot water, okay? 2 cups of flour currently. I've got 3 tablespoons of butter. I'm gonna blend in there, but I'm gonna start with this. I kind of just get my hands. Oops, I don't want this to fall on my phone. Just kind of start incorporating that. I made some dinner rolls when I was over at my nephew's yesterday. We went to visit my niece and my nephew. So I'm going to put the butter in here too next. And I'm going to warm up my milk. I am planning to use milk with it. Milk just gives it a different consistency than just water. So I'm going to add my butter. And then in this softened butter, if you want to melt yours, I soften mine. But I'm going to add some milk and I'm going to warm it up. And I'm going to add it because I've only got 2 cups of flour. I'm going to be adding a total of 4 cups of flour. This is just so when I leave, this is the last of my dinner roll. My mom will put it in the freezer. I'm leaving in about a day. So here's the last of her dinner roll, and she doesn't want to be caught without any. Hi, Rachie. Oh, hey, Betty Damn Boop. I thought you were Rachie. How have you been? I hope everybody's having an amazing week. My sleep schedule has been off, unbelievably off. My mom is like, when do you sleep? My daughter sends me a text at 1:30 in the morning and she goes, Mom, what are you doing? As some of you guys know, my daughter's in Budapest. So she has a different, what's it called? What's that called, Mom? A different time zone. You guys, this is what I made last night. I made a tres leches cake for my niece. My niece came over, so I made tres leches for her. And so my daughter sends me a text at like 1:30, and she's like, "Hi, Mom, what are you doing?" And that was weird. Hi, guys. Is that weird? So she goes, "What are you doing?" And I was literally sleeping, you guys. I have no idea what she was thinking, why she would think I'm awake at that hour of the day.
You don't sleep?
That's what she said. She said, I thought you'd be making bagels or something. I said, no, Destiny, I'm sleeping, you fruitcake. That was really weird, you guys. Okay. So I am going to I have 2 cups, 3 cups, because I'm going to put that milk in when it gets here. So I'm putting my last 2 cups of flour. Okay. I put 2 cups in. I add my yeast. And now I'm going to add my milk in. And I'm going to put an egg in. You guys got to be really cautious when you put your water in, because if your water or your milk or anything's hot, it'll kill your yeast. Okay, so this is something you can think about. If it's too hot, add a little bit of the cold milk in it to cool it down before you do it. Check it with your pinky, and if it's too hot, put a little bit of cold milk in, and it'll bring the temperature down on your milk. But I come to Texas about once a month to visit my mom. You guys, if some of you guys know, I lost my dad years ago, and my mom decided to move back home to where she lived, and I don't want to miss out on time with my mom. So I come down here, I bake with her, I do the little things that daughters do, hang out. I came on Mother's Day for my mom. It was nice. Okay, hold up. I hope everybody had a good Mother's Day. Thank you for all the people that have said Happy Mother's Day to me in the comments section or on my community page. Thank you. It's really nice of you. I'm putting an egg in. You can beat it before you do it. I'm putting it in. I don't really follow rules, you guys. I really don't. I should, maybe. Someone says yes. Let me eat it out. I left my stand in Michigan with Joe. I was like, Joe, just in case you want to go live. Because I'm not going live, baby. So here's 2 cups, 3 tablespoons of butter, softened. Sorry, y'all. And I'm going to add my milk in. Mom, can you get me the salt really quick before you leave? Thank you. And you can use a paddle or whatever. I've always used my hands. No, the real salt. I always use my hands, you guys. In the back.
Where?
Sea salt all the way to the back. I have always done it because it feels like I'm one with my, put a half a teaspoon of salt, you guys. Honestly, you guys, you'll have to find, and this is just a regular sandwich loaf. I'm not doing a, like I did my sourdough with my starter. But to be honest with you, I like just having a loaf of bread that, like my mom for breakfast, she had homemade toast with her eggs for breakfast. I think it's kind of cool. You know why? Because, I mean, my mom's has an option of having wheat bread. I want to make wheat bread. If anybody has ever made wheat bread, let me know how that is, because I've never made it. I've never made it. I'm kind of excited. My girlfriend Liz is a fruitcake. She started doing her starter with us. Some of you guys started doing starter with me. Tell me why my girlfriend named her starter my name. I was like, dude, you're such a wacko. She has her starter named my first name. Oh my gosh, she's a mess. Anyways, I got here on Sunday for Mother's Day, and then I hung out with my mom. And I was gonna do a live last night to cook dinner. I made dinner over at my niece's. Me and my mom made dinner over at my niece's house, but I don't know what kind of stuff you guys want. We're gonna go later to the store. HEB. Oh my god, I'll take you guys to the HEB. It's a 2-floor HEB. It's amazing. It's so cool. You guys would probably like that. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. Ooh, that'd be fun. If we go to lunch, maybe we'll take you, but right now, I don't know if we're gonna go to lunch anywhere. I like to, you guys, it's like 90 degrees here. I don't like going anywhere in this heat. I feel like I'm like a fry underneath the heat lamp. Like I hate it. I swear. That's what I feel like. I'm in the heat, like a heat, what's that called? A heat, I don't know what it's called. It's something about a heat lamp or heat. Definitely don't feel like I'm in a tanning bed. That's for daggone sure. Okay, this is pretty much like you get it to. I guess it is better to do it with the paddle if it's going to take a lot. See what it looks like. I made dinner rolls and I made a loaf of bread over at my brother's house for my nieces and my nephews. But oh, I was gonna make it. My mom she tries all these wacko recipes, you guys. Like anything that's weird, she's like, hey, I saw this recipe. Like she's literally, I won't say her age, but she's older, and she still goes, hey, I saw this recipe at the doctor's office, so I thought I'd bring it home to try. And I'm like, Mom, you are crazy. My mom loves trying new recipes on us. She likes trying her new recipes on us. She's crazy, you guys. Oh my gosh. I mean, I could do. I don't know. My brother had ordered a, what's it called? A burger for me, and it literally. They do things so different down here. There's like food trucks every corner. He's like, "What are you in the mood for?" And I'm like, "Oh." Because he was working, so he's like, let me order you dinner or whatever. And I was like, you don't have to order me anything. I'll just warm up some bread or toast or make a sandwich or whatever. He was like, no, I want to make you, or because we were supposed to have dinner plans. So he was wanting to make up for it. He's so sweet. Oh, it looks so soft though, you guys. Look at. Doesn't it look pretty? Mom, are you? Oh, my mom, I think, has on. My mom is too funny. You guys, I would love for you guys to see the traffic here. I want you guys to see the craziness that it is. And you should need it about 10 minutes. So if you're doing a paddle, I would say 5 minutes on your KitchenAid paddle. But if you're kneading it, just kind of like get it, push your palm in it, twist it over, and then push your palm in it again. See, like that? Like that. Huh? I don't remember what for. I'm okay. Thanks, Mom. My mom's so funny. You guys, I lost my dad years ago, and for me, honestly, just to take a trip to Texas to visit my mom, it's well worth it. You know what? We're not going to have these years again. For me, I mean, I was a different person, you guys. Back in my 30s, 25, 30, I would go to the bars. I got in bar fights. People pissed me off. I'd kick their ass. I was not a pleasant person. I was just like, I don't know how to describe it. I just was. I was what I was. I had a lot of faults. I said, F you and F this. And did you bump into me? Like at the bar, somebody bumped into me. I had no problem I don't care if it was an accident. If they bumped into me, I hit first, ask questions later. Bathroom, if somebody knocked on the door and I came out of my stall, I'm like, who knocked on the door? And then they'd be like, Susie or whoever. And I was like, yep, I know. It wasn't nice. I wasn't a nice person. But you know what? I feel like I was that person so that once the Lord, once I was a different person. Let's just say it like that. You know what I mean? Like if I wasn't so different, then it wouldn't have been so noticeable. Like for me to say, F you and F that and I'll F you, to talk like that was nothing. For me to fight with somebody was nothing. I mean, I never went to jail for fighting, but I got barred from a lot of bars because I took off after I got in a fight. Because there were people that were just guys would come in to defend their girlfriend and getting hit with a bar stool. I mean, I'm not trying to show out. I'm trying to show you how different person I was. I was a different human being. And then once I was like, I guess I wanted I wanted to visit a place because they had a party in the parking lot and they said, hey, my cousin goes, you should come. I'm like, nope, I'm good. I don't need none of your little Jesus stuff. And so she's like, well, just come to the cookout part. And I was like, ew, I don't want to, dude. Like, for real. I'm good. And she's like, just come and listen. And I went, and it was just a very motivational speaker kind of thing. It didn't really feel like Jesus, Jesus, and be a good Jesus, and Jesus, Jesus. It was not like that at all. It was more like, why do you want to be, what's the word I'm looking for? You wanted to be a better person from like what you were listening to. I was like, man, that's true. If you are in a relationship with somebody, he does want to visit you once in a while. Like there were things about what I was hearing that made me be like, wow, that's interesting. And that's interesting. And then sure enough, I just made a decision to visit again. 2 weeks went by and I went again. And then 2 more weeks went again. And so then I went bowl. I'm going to just put some oil in it. Hold on, y'all. I can't do this. It's driving me crazy. Sorry. So I made a decision to visit again. I'm getting my grandkids. Oh, thank you, Betty Dan Boop. Watch the replay, love. You're good. You're good, Mama. Okay. See how it comes back up? Can you see it? Watch. Oh, I think because calls are coming in. Okay. Anyways, I made a decision to visit again, And before you know it, I started going on a regular basis. And it felt very nice. It felt very different. And look at this. I'm going to put a little oil in here, guys. You can use a spray oil or whatever. Just putting a little bit oil in there. And I'm going to put this, I'm going to roll it upside down like that. And I'm going to put it like that. And I'm going to put a lid on it and I'm going to let it warm up. So then I went again. I would say about 2 or 3 weeks later. And then I went again 2 or 3 weeks later. And I found that when I went, like I left there in a better mood. And then it was like summer because it was like party in the parking lot. So then it was like, maybe October I went again. And then I went again in November and like only 3 or 4 times. And then all of a sudden it was like December. And by now, me and Joe were together by now. So I said, hey, what do you think? And he's like, yeah, I think it's okay. It's not really my type. But by the end of the year, we both were like, yeah, it's all right. We'll visit once in a while. It's okay. I said all that to say at the end of the year, we go, what's your New Year's resolution? I don't know. What's your New Year's resolution? I don't know. We couldn't decide on one. And so then we said, I said, well, I think I'm going to see if, because I don't know what I was watching, but I had said, I'm going to see if I can stop drinking for a whole year. I think one of my girlfriends was going to do it because she was going on a health kick. And I said, oh man, I don't know if I could do that. That's a long time for me to go without drinking. And it's not that I drank all the time, but I liked to have a beer when I wanted to have a beer. I'd like to have a margarita when I wanted a margarita. I liked to be able to have it if I wanted it. So then end of the year came and I said, well, I'm doing it. And he goes, I'll do it with you. So that way we'll have somebody to do it. You'll have somebody to do it with. So January came. I didn't drink at all. January, February, March. And then in May, mind you, we kept visiting the church. And then in May, we had a ladies' conference. And we started going. And then when I went to the ladies' conference, it was like 3 or 4 days, just the ladies go. And then I was filled with the Holy Ghost. And that's it. If anybody doesn't know, if anybody knows what that means, I was speaking in tongues and it was a whole experience. And there's nothing wrong with anybody who does or who doesn't or do whatever. I'm telling you what happened to me. I was filled with the Holy Ghost. I spoke in tongues and it was a regular thing. Like, by now, we were going to church every couple weeks because my husband's schedule didn't let him have off every weekend. So then I started going without him. And then when he had off, we'd go. When he had on, I'd go by myself. So his schedule didn't allow him to go every weekend. And it was just a matter of my walk. And I feel like the Lord really wanted it to be like that. Like, intended me to have my walk separate. So I could be where I wanted to be. And he could be on his own schedule, like, you know what I mean? His own walk also. So then it was, let me put this. Hold on, you guys. Jeez, I start talking to you guys and I lose all track of everything. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna put some saran wrap on here and let it sit. So then, I'm gonna let it rise, and then I'm gonna do probably a loaf. My mom likes a ball, like a big, like a sourdough round. She likes anything, but anyways. So then, by now it's like June, July, and my husband's schedule, he'd take vacation days, and then we'd go on to church, and then I think it was in July, my husband was filled with the Holy Ghost. And again, if it's not for everybody, that's okay. I'm just telling you how my walk went. Speaking in tongues, that's what happened when I was filled, and he was filled like 2 or 3 months later. And we just started going to church more and more and more, and it was like, that's what we did. And then, like, out of nowhere, I think one of my cousins saw me and she goes, it's so weird listening to you talk. And I go, what? Why? Like, I've still been very bubbly, happy, laid back, chill. I'm still who I am. And when people are like, oh my God, all those church people are like they walk around like Bible thumpers, and let me just tell you, I am still my same personality. The only difference is I don't cuss people out. I used to. I chose to not talk like that anymore. No, nobody told me not to. It just felt weird for me to say effing B, stupid, C, dirty, whore, anything like that. For me, okay? For me. I didn't tell my husband. He could swear, talk any way he wanted to, whenever he wanted to. And it just got to a point of like, it got to, mind you put just a tiny bit lower, Mom?
Huh?
Can you put just a tiny bit lower? Because I hear it in my background. Thank you, Mom. I was like, I saw you.
Oh, you mean your phone, my phone?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna set this. Wait, this My mom, she's so cute. She's like, we would love a loaf of bread, but don't feel like you have to. I go, Mom, I don't mind doing it. So, anyways, that was basically my walk. I got filled with the Holy Ghost. I started going to church. I haven't cut my hair in 18 or 19 years. I was brought up in church, but it was just a different faith. I used to be Catholic, and my kids went to a Catholic school, and they made the first communion. I made my first communion, my confirmation, all of that. And then when I started going to this other church, they just had different things that if you like open your like Bible studies that helped you understand different things. That's it. So for me, I started going to church. I wanted to be a better person. My husband, same thing. But since all that, honestly, I can truly say that there's good people that cuss and swear and do all that stuff still. There's people that are good people that get trashed and hammered, and it's just not for me. But to say that somebody who drinks is not a good person, to say someone who's a political party is not a good person, to say that somebody who cuts their hair is not a good person, that's just a lie. Because I've met good people, and I've met really crappy people in the church, and I've met really good people in the church. I've met really good people who are Democrats and really good ones that are Republicans. And I've met really decent people that give the last dollar off of their money. And then I've met really greedy people that won't give you a penny from their dollar. So to think that only certain criterias. Hi, my quirks. Hello, my little quirky girl. It's so good to see you, love. Oh no, what did I do? I'm sorry. Now I want to see it. Oh man. I'm sorry. Would you type that again, BTU? I apologize. At least I didn't put you in timeout because I would have felt even worse. Let's see. I'm sorry. Would you mind doing that again, BTU? For some reason, I was trying to touch it, and my finger hit it twice. But I mean, there's just for somebody to say, like, there's a certain person on this platform who proclaims Christianity, and honestly, their behavior doesn't look like it. The way their mouth is doesn't seem like it. And honestly, I had really started doing I wanted to start reviewing, and I made a few videos, and I really wanted to start doing a video, like having a live stream that reviewed the stuff. But you know what? There's so many people that do it, and I really just prayed about it. And listen, I used to cuss, but I got into a habit of. You know what? That's kind of why I took a whole step back, BTU, because I was on in a lot of chats a lot more in the last year, and in the last 3 or 4 months, I realized it was changing me. Like it hurts me when I see behavior that gives us a bad name. And I realized I was in chats where they were talking a certain way. And it's not that it's bad. I just don't want to be around it as much. And so I still support who I support. I just limit my time on the platform. You know what I mean? Like it's not for everybody. It's just for me. I just allow myself to hear that around, maybe an hour a day, or maybe just an hour in the morning. I don't really want to be around it. I don't want it to be natural for me again, because it was normal for me. It was very normal for me. And I had a defense on it saying, it feels so good. Like when I say I'm hungry, when I say I'm effing hungry, it means like, I mean real hungry. Or, man, that looks so cool. But when I say that looks so effing cool, like the big strong F word, that means it's so cool. Like it describes it so much. Trust me. I had a defense on why I said that word, and it made sense to me. It really did. I didn't think I was a bad person, and you're not a bad person. Like I said, it made me feel, you want me to tell you the truth? When I would hear that person, that creator, talk like that, and say that she is a godly woman, I started thinking back to what my pastor said. And he said, but what does your testimony say? Because I can say I'm a Christian all day long, but if my testimony says, F you, F that, you dirty B, you dirty cunt, see you next Tuesday. If I speak like that, then truly I could say I'm a Christian till I'm blue in the face. My mouth tells me I'm a sailor. My mouth tells me I'm a nasty, evil, vile person. It just is what it is. And for anybody, where are you counting out money for a woman? Where are you going? I think I only have 5 ones. Yeah, in my purse, mom. I'll grab it from my wallet, where my driver's license are. So for me, I thought about my pastor. Like, again, some of you guys know I was a leader in church, and those are the Bible studies. Those are the studies, like not Bible study, but those were the studies in my room. Those are the studies that I would have. Is when me and my husband oversaw a little group. I don't want to say group, but we were leaders. So we had people that came to us, whether it was a situation in their home, a situation in their marriage, a situation or whatever. We would just talk to them, and we kind of gave them studies, holiness studies, and different words, and being a servant to the kingdom, being called for, and what you want to be. And Mom, that's Maddie's. Mine is Michael Kors, but it's white. Maddie's is the brown one. And that's what our pastor would say. Is say I got a Shirley Temple when we went out. We all went out, and I got a Shirley Temple, and my drink had like the bubblies in it, and I had the straw, and I had the little, or even but oh, you're welcome, baby. Don't even thank me, Mama. My pastor would say, but what is the perception? If it's a Bloody Mary, and if it looks like a Bloody Mary, and the only people that don't know it's not a real Bloody Mary is me and the bartender. But if I'm trying to talk to somebody over here about how I used to drink and how I don't drink anymore, and I live an overcoming life now, but then they see me with a Bloody Mary that resembles it's a Bloody Mary. Again, the only people that know it's not are me and the bartender. Then this person that I was talking to about how I've gone 10 years and I don't use it. It's not that anybody can or can't use it. I just choose to not drink anymore. But she sees me with a drink in my hand. It makes her feel like my testimony is like she can't count on what I'm saying to her, or that I'm lying to her, or that, and that's what my pastor meant by it. It's what does your testimony say about it? So it was just a matter of that. That's all. It's not that I think anybody who drinks is bad. It's that I want to reach people. I want to show people that the Lord is forgiving. The Lord is a worthy God who's good, who's there for you. Yeah, and that's the thing, is that I do want to touch people. But by me making a video showing certain people's bad behavior, what does that do? Nothing. Because there's so many channels that do it. They show, look. And I thought, and I prayed about it, and the Lord said, you know what? Instead of showing that, just come on and I usually do. Some people know that I have a live and I talk about, oh, thank you for the blessing. If someone blesses us, I thank them. And I've never hidden the fact that me and Joe being married 20 years is completely by the Lord. Me getting through my son going into jail, coming out of jail, being strong during that time, having to report a missing persons on my son because he was missing, because he left the party and he wandered off. Like, there's nothing that you can feel in your body that describes a pit in your stomach when you're giving an officer features that would, I can't, you're telling them what it looks like. You know what I mean? What he looks like if they find him. And by the grace of God, he got me through it. He got me through my son. Symptoms can sometimes hold you back. See, and that's the thing, is that She said, I also think if my husband had a ministry, I would behave in line with the title. And that was ideally what you want. What we wanted is my son is still acting a fool. We were still pastors, or we were still leaders in church. And they go, well, if you're such a strong God, then why is your son acting a fool? If you have such a good God, why are you having to have your son go in and out of jail? And you know what? Because it's still free will. We have to choose him. We have to choose who he is. He's not just going to say, I'm going to take that taste of alcohol, or your son, I'm going to make all of his friends disappear. My son had to choose to leave that life behind. You know what I mean? He had to make the decision on his own to live for the Lord. And he did for a while. He was in church all the time. He was down on his knees, speaking in tongues and doing great things. And for my son, he wanted to just enjoy. This is what he said to me one day. He said, Mom, if I ever knew that going and trying drugs and partying would be this hard to leave, I never would have done it. I swear to you that as a mother, that just crushed my soul, because he was saying, I wish I could stop. I wish I didn't have to do this anymore. I gave it to God. You guys, when I tell you I gave it to the Lord, I would wear skirts. I had bruises on my knees from kneeling on my knees and asking the Lord to move in my son's life. Whether it be, let him get caught, let him do this. Unlike my sisters, they don't ask about his help. That's right. And that's the part that makes me so sad, is that you feel like, is she pretending based on what her husband follows, or is she truly aligned with what her husband says? And that's the part that I'm not going to highlight somebody who is making a mockery of who the Lord is. I just won't. And that's what I realized that I was doing. I would be making a video highlighting how she's a hypocrite and how she cusses and how she behaves. And you know what? At the end of the day, I need to make my lives emphasizing and highlighting who the Lord is, how he has taken me and turned me out, turned me around, put my feet on solid ground, and gave me a reason. He gave me a reason to keep fighting for my son, because my son is 30 years old and a clean, sober, good father. And I stuck with it. My son got in a head-on collision. I said it the day it happened. Y'all don't ever stop praying for our kids. I plead the blood over my son daily. Daily, I plead the blood over my son. My son walked away from a head-on collision. Me and my daughter is abroad. Anything could happen to my daughter at any time. I plead the blood over my children and he wants us to, you guys. He wants us to go to him with confidence. He wants us to go to him boldly and claim that healing, claim that comfort, that strength. My girlfriend had a doctor's appointment and she said, I can't sleep, I've got anxiety. And I said, that is not of the Lord's will, and you know that. He wants you to give it to him and you put it away. Stop thinking about it, stop worrying about it, because that is not of him. He wants you to be at peace that he's going to move. You know what? Some people, I'm telling you, I have RSD in my hands. People are like, if your God is so good, why doesn't he heal you? He's going to heal me when he's ready. I don't hold it like, what kind of a God? My God has done too many things to go, what about my hands? He took my son. How many of you guys wouldn't give that up? Like, I'd rather have it than my son have it. I'm telling you, I would rather have this condition in my hand that I have and know that my son is living an overcoming life. My hands, yes, it frustrates me. I worked in an accounting firm. We had a great life. My hands, my husband, let me tell you, if I had to choose, not that I'm saying I have to, but if I saw my son every day struggle, and he himself told me, I wish I didn't have to be out here. It's just harder than you think to come back to the church. it's just, as a mother, it just crushes you. It crushes you when your son or your child is telling you they want to come back. It's just so hard. So for me, I've given the testimony about our home. The Lord told us to fast and there'd be a bidding war. And I'm like, well, how long is that, honey? And Joe's like, the Lord said he would let us know. And I'm like, oh, how long though? And he said he'd let us know. And it's on one of my videos. Long story short, we had an offer like 8 days in, and I was like, woo! Yes, we're done. And it was an absolute fast, you guys. If any of you guys know what an absolute fast is, it wasn't like we've done Daniel's fast. Again, it's a different fast. A Daniel's fast is like you're eating greens and seeds and things from the earth. Like we stay off of media. You like it's a Daniel's fast is a different fast. We were doing an absolute fast. Like we wanted to shake Hell's Gate and like demand victory. Like when you do for your kids. Like that's the kind of fasting we were doing. And we were claiming it. And the Lord said, put it in my hands and give it to me. So we fasted. I do too. Oh my God. Sometimes I watch on YouTube and just watch people's testimonies, and it's so motivating just to hear. And then that's when the Lord just started laying on my hand that I've got testimonies. Why aren't I sharing them? And I really didn't have an excuse. I really didn't. I told you guys about how a neighbor gave us groceries, and I was so embarrassed. I didn't want to share it with anybody. And the Lord said, I blessed you so you could share it. But in my head, I heard, oh my gosh, these people in this community are going to come for me, and I don't want to share that. And it was embarrassing. I was embarrassed to say I took a handout from our neighbors. Um, it was just, I don't know. I guess I just wasn't ready to share it. And the Lord said, I didn't do it. I did it because somebody needs to hear this. And so I was like, Lord. And I cried. Some of you guys were in the live, and I cried. And I was like, our neighbor gave us some groceries, and I just need to share this with you guys. And I didn't want to share it. I didn't want to share it. And I was arguing with the Lord. And he was like, it's not for you. There's somebody listening that needs to hear this. So I said, I'm going to give it, I'm going to share the story, and whoever needed to hear it, you're going to hear it. I mean, we were so grateful. Me and my husband were like, oh my God, thank you. Lord, they gave us a bag of groceries. But I started on my live. I go, oh my gosh, you guys wouldn't believe what happened. And then I was like, oh my God, don't say it. You're going to have those trolls. You're going to have this community being all crappy. Don't say it. Like I stopped myself from saying an amazing testimony. And the Lord's like, no, give him that testimony. And I was like, no, I'm not. Like, that's how I am. The Lord knows me. He knows I love him. I don't mean it to be disrespect. I'm like, I'm not going to say it, Lord. And I was in my head, and he's like, share that testimony because somebody needs to hear it. And I was like, all right. Our neighbor brought us groceries. And I said, out of nowhere, our neighbor came and dropped off a bag of groceries to us. And I was humbled, but we needed it. I mean, some of you guys, my husband ended up leaving work on disability. So for us, it was the reason we started our channel. Some of you guys know that, some of you guys don't, but that's why we started our channel. So we were grateful. We got monetized. We were so excited. Our members, somebody used to give us memberships, asked me to stop talking about the Lord. She used to buy like 40 a month, 40 memberships a month. And then she's like, I would prefer if you didn't talk so much about Jesus. I think people want a recipe. They don't want to hear about the Lord. And I was just like, it actually hurt me because that's who I am. Like when you're asking me to stop talking about somebody who is the reason I am still standing. And I thought about it like, wow, it hurt me that my own friend would tell me to stop talking about something she knew I was passionate about. But anyways, I just continued talking about the Lord, and she didn't come back to the channel anymore. It's not even the point. The point is that the Lord still provided every single time, whether it be from a neighbor stopping over or whatever it was, the Lord still showed out for us. And so that's what the Lord said. You need to share it with them. I shared it. And then after I shared it, I felt even stupider that I made such like, it was just embarrassing, I guess. It was that's what I felt. Anyways, I said all that to say that's what made me have the decision to not do like I'm going to review this person and I would rather just talk about how the Lord kept me going when my dad passed away, how he kept me and my husband and our marriage together, how he kept us going. You know what I mean? And for me, I'd rather talk about that instead of talking about how look at how she's behaving. She knows how she's behaving, and it's not bringing glory to the Lord. Her actions, her words, her. Because you know what? If you imagine, I have like 7 or 8 people in here right now. She has 15, sometimes 1,200 people in there. Imagine how many people would be getting touched by the word if she would use it for what his intention is for. Instead of attacking the victim's mother, showing her panel and her community, her chat, hey guys, let's show love and kindness to this woman. She misses her son right now. Let's show compassion to this. You know what? I'm not going to attack them. Even if they're calling me names, I am not going to go down that road. The Lord has blessed me abundantly, and I don't need to go down that road. The people you can touch with that love versus see you next Tuesday and look at you, you stupid bee. You just gave me $1.99. And who are you, you stupid bee? Like, what do you gain from talking like that? Because I used to talk like that. I know you gain nothing. You feel nothing. It doesn't give you like, yeah, I told them, because the next day you're doing it again. So you can't use the excuse of, I'm defending myself. No, you have the Lord to defend you. You don't need to do all that, and you know that. If you're a godly woman, you know you don't need to because the Lord is fighting your battles. So by me talking like that, I don't need to. I don't need to lose my religion. I can stay in my faith and stay pushing who the Lord is and still give people an opportunity to know who He is. I don't need to say vulgar things to 300, 1,300 people. I can talk about who the Lord has done for me and my marriage or my relationship or my son. For whatever she wants to preach about, she can talk about it. And she chooses to attack. That is to me the saddest of all of this. That you have all these people's attention and you're giving the enemy the platform. That crushes me to a core, that she has a platform to preach his goodness and she uses it to give glory to the enemy instead of saying, you know what, you guys, thank you for coming in. I got mods for a reason. My mods know what they need to do. I've had trolls. I used to have a rapper that would come in. I had trolls. My mods knew. I came from the drama community. And if they said, yeah, can you believe Michelle did this? I didn't even read it. My mods knew to delete it. Like my mods knew I don't want drama comments in the chat because then people start talking about the drama in the chat. So, I mean, I recognize there are trolls. Savage came at me calling me a big fat burrito and a choke on my tamale. Did I go live one time? Did I make one comment? Did I go live and go, I'm going to go and why? I know who I am. Bombshell telling me that my husband had a burner phone and he was calling her and that I've got a fupa and I've got a whole bakery. Guess what? I've got a good man. I've got a good marriage. I don't need to get out of who I am. Why? Like that's the part that unless you have another reason. Obviously that's what her chat doesn't get. And if it works for her. It disgraces the Lord, but her chat and her people know it just is a disgrace to, if she didn't have the Lord with, this is a Christian channel, and that's the only reason they attack me is because I'm a godly woman. No, baby, that's not why. You are giving Christians in general a bad name because that is what people, why they leave the church. Thank you, Quirky. I've been through a lot. It made me a strong woman. There's racism in my, growing up. It just made me strong. For 10 years, I was with my ex-husband. It made me a strong woman, but it made me appreciate my husband that I have today. And it's just, I went through it. I'm not a victim. I'm a survivor. I left. He didn't kill me, and I'm got an amazing marriage of 20 plus years, and I'm grateful. Not by me, not by Joe, but only by the Lord's grace. He has given me the strength to keep fighting. He has given me the compassion, the heart, and the love to show others. That's honestly, it is not who I was. I fought. I was not a nice person. The Lord turned me into the person I am today. That's it. That's all. I can't give it to anything or anybody but the Lord. That's what I started out talking about, was when I was talking about when I was baking my bread, is I was not this person. But that's how I notice when you see somebody behaving in a way, you're going, you don't need to act, the Lord, if there's truly a godly woman under that person, then you wouldn't talk that way, because you wouldn't want to talk that way, because he's done too much to clean me up so I don't talk like that. He's done too much to get me on solid ground so I can minister, talk, and preach the word. Why would I ever take it back to who I used to be? That's who I was. I don't ever want anybody to have that, imagine you go out and you talk to 3 people today about about somebody you watched today. The Lord just touched 4 people. Me touched you, you touched 3 other people. They touched 2 or 3 other people. Versus, we talk about how vile and nasty that channel is. Now that nastiness just touched 4 or 5 people. See the difference? You can either spread his goodness, spread his word, and spread who he is, or you can spread the nasty vileness of who this person is. And I choose to spread who the kingdom and what the kingdom and why the kingdom and who he is. He saved me when my ex-husband could have killed me. Like, he could have bashed my head in. He threw plates at my head. I had blood coming off my head. He let me leave. The Lord allowed me to walk out of that home. I got banged around, hit, punched right in front of his friends, and none of his friends stopped him. None of his friends told him to stop hitting me. They all let him. And it's my own fault, but it was only till I had my son. When I had my son, I looked at my son and I said to myself, I do not want him to be brought up in a home like this. I really wasn't like, oh my God, I gotta leave. I did it because I didn't want my son to be in a home like this. I'm telling you, I'm a stronger woman today because the Lord allowed me. He gave me grace. He gave me strength. And I will do whatever it is to bring him glory. And if it means that I don't need to go into chats as much anymore, then I don't. Because it started getting to be normal to hear these words. And I don't want that for me. He brought me from there. I don't want to hear it again. I'm grateful. I'm truly grateful for the life the Lord gave me. He gave me a husband who loves me, and he blessed me. I lost my dad when he was only 54. I have my mom still. And I'm going to use every single day to give people the knowledge of who he is. Why do I want to bring a light to somebody who's not a good person? Who's someone who's diminishing the light of who the kingdom is? I would never. Why? Guys, check out the Lord. He's a great person. Why would I want to tell you to go look at this person? Look at how she is. She's giving him a bad name. That is what hurts my soul. I'm going to finish breaking my bread. Thank you guys all for coming in. I truly appreciate you guys. I'm going to see if my mom and my niece, we might go and do something later. And I'm going to take my peoples with us. All right, you guys, be blessed. I love you all. Thank you, my mods. Thank you, my quirks, for coming in.